Hello and welcome to VChess. My name is Naiditsch. I'm a chess grandmaster and we continue with our educational streams. Let's go with the next 10-minute game. And during the game, I will be explaining the positional ideas, tactical motives. We have every move something changing on the board. So, I think it's quite exciting and of course very useful. So in case you like to become a better chess player, join the VChess family. Let's go with the first game. We start today evening with the move e4, the central move. Let's go. Knight f3. Good evening, Grand Mina. Today first to say hello, Grand Mina 1. Santos second. Good evening, Santos. And we have third, Ayushin Singh is a third to say hi. Welcome everyone, of course. We go with the move bishop b5, so it's going to be another game on the Spanish opening. Let's maybe go with the move d3. So two main lines here, short castle and the move d3. Now we play with the move d3. Our opponent is blitzing out his moves. Bishop on e7 very quickly played. Let's go with something unusual with the move knight on c3. Main move is short castle. Is there a difference? Not a very big one, but still small differences make sometimes something big. d6. Now we go immediately with the move a4. We would like to take, or we are going to provoke black into playing the move b4. Now the knight gets this nice square on d5. Let's see what happens next. We have the short castle, so in theory we have as well the option to take on e7 to have the bishop pair, which is not a bad option, at all. I think we might even take it, but there is bishop e6 coming next, so maybe we should wait a little bit with this and just play the short castle first. Good evening, Hadi BM. Hadi BM as well with us today. Welcome, Hadi. Hadi always, or almost always, is with us. h6. Is it a good play or not a very good play? This is the question. So let's try. We're gonna get the bishop. And my idea was to play now this move knight on h4. Is it a good idea or a bad idea? Because once you see the move h6, g6 square is getting sort of shaky. So we have the option of playing the move knight h4. Let's go with this very aggressive knight h4 approach. So good evening also to Rio. After the game, I will be playing first couple of rapid games against random opponents, and then we will be deciding to who today's evening game will be credited. So bishop on e6. Black obviously likes to take here. On b3 next, makes sense. Now we can take ourselves on e6 as well. We might do something positional like bishop on e3, for example, takes. We're gonna have this intermediate move knight f5, which is looking not bad at all. So we have to decide to take. Queen has to take because there is no more pawn take of knight on g6. I think both is very playable. In case of bishop e3, we have to think what is happening after knight takes e4, but I think then we have bishop takes e6, so this might be still working. At least I hope it does. I think it does. So let's go with the move bishop e3. I'm just curious if he's going to take on b3 or if he's planning to do something else. So let's see. Again, it's not a must move. I could have taken first on e6, would be perfectly alright. Great news. We have to congratulate to Rio Bloomgarden, who has just won his first tournament in Marshall Chess Club. So it is New York. We have someone from New York, Marshall Chess Club, very famous entity in New York. I have been once to Marshall Chess Club. It was during my visit to New York, a historic place. Congratulations to Rio. Congrats. So we have a question. Would you consider Italian Spanish Caro-Kann as solid opening repertoire for someone who wants to start classical chess 1800 online. So 1800 online, I think it should be approximately 1600, something like this. Classical for your level. Openings do not matter much, so don't spend too much time on openings. You will just waste most of your time. I would suggest you to do less openings and to do more tactics. So tactics, extremely important to be like this, bam, bam, bam. So this is what we've been speaking about, tactics. Bishop e3, I thought that knight takes e4 is not possible, and our opponent still does play the move knight e4. So we have two options here. Or I made a miscalculation, or he has made a miscalculation. Let's double check, and this is what I'm talking about. Tactics. We have to be very, very sharp. So knight e4. What happens in case I take now on e6? Pawn takes, we have knight on g6. If queen takes, we win the knight. I don't get the point of my opponent. Maybe I'm missing something, but I think I am able just to take on e6. I think the current position is a great answer to the question of Max Burkar. It's about tactics, because now we have a pure tactical position, and it doesn't matter the opening, it is tactics. So if you have 1600, I think even up to 2000, do tactics first, then do endgames, and of course do positional play. And once you feel you're doing well in these three parts, then you can start slowly to build up your opening repertoire, because otherwise you will be spending too much time on openings and you will get tricked at some moment. And this is what we see now on the board. You see, it's pure tactics. I made him this kind of trap, but okay, not real trap, but I just developed a piece. We saw that to take on e4 is not possible. He still takes because he believes he made the right calculation, and now we are going to see if this is correct. So the next move decides the game. If there is nothing, then white straight wins the game. So tactics. HDBM, what do you suggest there? In case you want to do tactics, of course, download our app. We have a beautiful app for all of you. It's for free. It is level by level. A lot of puzzles. I think there are approximately 250 very nice puzzles to solve. So each level you go up. In case you want to go up faster, just solve 10. You get enough points to pass to the next level. So you can enjoy our app and solve the puzzles. Of course, Puzzle Rush is not bad, but here on the VChess channel we try, of course, to use the VChess products, and this app it was personally developed by me. I spent so much time on everything, so try it out. I think it's a good app to get better. So let's see what happens next. Our opponent fell asleep. He's sort of shocked by the move bishop takes e6, but our opponent actually plays with a huge self-confidence because, well, he just resigns. Look at that. He finds no solution and he resigns immediately the game. So we have to pay attention here. He calculated for 1 minute 20. He takes on e4. Big confidence, because in case I can do nothing here, he will be just a pawn up. So I would calculate a little bit more in his case. And after bishop e6, he finds no defense, so he resigns straight away. And of course, queen takes, we have the move bishop d5, so we are going to take one of those knights here. Bishop e6, intermediate move. In case black is taking, we have the move knight on g6, but I don't know why he resigned, because it's way too early. So for example, queen f7 take, now the knight is under attack, but there is knight on f6, and yes, white is doing better. We have the exchange up, but the game is still ahead of us. I think he was so upset that he has missed the move bishop takes e6 that it is just a resignation. All right. Santos is saying, I'm going to finish educational in the VChess app. Yeah, very good, Santos. In case you can do that, it means already you're quite a good chess player. And then you have the endgame story and the puzzle story opening. So these stories are way harder. Educational story is just to warm up, and then the real things are starting. So all right, let's go to the next 10-minute rapid game. Our next opponent is playing the move d4. Let's go with the move knight f6. By the way, today Tommy been all the time asking if I can play the Volga. Of course I can, but it's such a tricky opening. And actually it's very difficult to play with black. So maybe one game we're gonna play the Volga, but all in all, it's not an opening for everyday play. I prefer much more this kind of solid structure openings, which are quite fundamentals. I like fundamental things. So fundamental opening, now bishop on e2. So we have here the knight h5 or the move c5. Both moves are giving, in my opinion, decent play to black here. Should we go with the move c5 or knight on h5? Both is completely okay. Maybe let's try with the move c5. Next move is going to be knight on c6. We have queen on d2 played so fast, so quickly by our opponent. Why is he so quick? I don't know. Let's go with the move knight c6. Let's see what white has prepared. Knight on e5. And this is quite an important moment, I believe, because we have different setups here. And I will show you quite a nice setup for black in these positions. So, here we have a beautiful move with black pieces, after which, in my opinion, we are doing perfectly fine. It is or to include cd-ed, this is matter of taste, but then the next move is crucial, and the move is knight on d7. So we have a choice to play knight on d7 instantly, or to play cd and then to play knight on d7. So we have to choose one of those two options. I think maybe to take first is my choice, but again, you might be able to play knight on d7 immediately. Very good thing to be remembered. This kind of knight on d7, we are pushing away the knight from e5. And I believe that black is getting instantly a decent position. Very, very playable position. So I think it's good to be remembered. He took on c6. I don't know if this is the right choice, to be honest, because now we have this beautiful structure. I don't think that black has any kind of problems. Maybe even black might try to be better here. And we play this bishop h6. We can play the move e5. This is perfectly okay, but I hope to get better position with the black pieces. So we take. Queen has to take, and I think we can go with the move queen on b6. We have here the double attack on the pawn on d4 and the pawn on b2. Very unpleasant. Long castle. Extremely risky, I would say, because for white, yes, there is idea h4, h5. First of all, this all takes time to play the move h4, h5, and even if you have h4, h5, then I have the move knight f6, so it's very far away from a checkmate. That's why I feel pretty confident here with the black pieces. The h4, h5 idea is still quite far away. We have time to do something with the black pieces, try to get to the king on c1 first. How can we do that? Normally we should start some active play, maybe to play something like the move e5 is looking nice. Just to play safe move knight f6 is also not a bad decision at all, but maybe we have here something tactical. Let's take a look. We have this very interesting idea, e5 take, then to play first queen on c5. Knight has no good squares to go, so there is queen on b2, also f2 is hanging. I think f5 is the play, is the move to make. Let's go with the move f5, e5. It looks so good. It looks so good to play the move e5, and usually when you have this feeling, it is the right choice. You just play it because it is a rapid game, so we don't have eternity on our clocks, but when you feel e5 central play feels good. Let's see what happens next. So we have the move e5 on the board. Our opponent, who played so quickly earlier, starts to think. It's a good sign when you have a guy who is blitzing out all the moves and now he starts to think. Usually it's a very, very positive sign. It means he doesn't like so much what is going on the chessboard, and of course it gives you a little bit of confidence, plus it is like an insurance that probably you're doing fine. Alright, in case you like my comments and you just joined, VChess, like and subscribe. For more tactical ideas and opening explanations, positional ideas, we have it all here on the channel. Especially give us some likes currently to push a little bit the algorithm of YouTube. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, what do we have here? Please don't mute me this time. What a request from Rita C. Rita C, what did you do to get muted? You did something that you should not have done. That's funny. Alright, let's go, let's go. Our opponent, after blitzing the first moves, now with a very serious thought. Why is he thinking so much here? First, playing a blitz game, and then falling asleep. If this is a good strategy, not sure about it. Doesn't look like a great strategy. I always advise take your time in the opening to get a position that you like, and by opening I mean the first move, so get the pieces to good squares. Put the pieces properly, and after you can still think what you are going to play next. So, in case you have some chess questions, please do ask them in the chat. In case I don't see a question, we have many good people here who might be able to answer your questions. So, let's see. What do we have here? White takes the pawn on e5. So now we can go with our idea d4, not looking bad at all. We can first attack the knight, and then we have the d4 push. We can also take the pawn first, and then let's see what happens later. Do we need the pawn? Well, to have a pawn is not a bad idea in general, but do we need the pawn immediately? This would be very good for some endgames. On the other hand, we have here this h4, h5 coming very soon. It's not bad to take the pawn, I'm sure. It's not a bad idea. But maybe we have this queen on c5 first, because the knight has no squares. King has to get to b2, not a perfect position for the white king. And then we go with the move d4, knight comes here, we take, there is some check. I don't know if this is the best, because to play d4 is not something that I love to do here. So we have also just to take. Never a bad idea to take the pawn. Then we go with the move bishop on f5 next. Also very interesting. So maybe I will be just taking the pawn here on e5. So I keep again all the options on the table. Still the pawn is under attack. I would like to develop the piece next. I have this queen on c5 next, queen a5 next. We have very many options here for black how to proceed. So this kind of knight takes e5, it is keeping everything open. And those of you who are following the channel already for a while, you know that I like this kind of things where I have potentially many different options how to proceed. It makes the game, I think, of my opponent a little bit harder. So if you have to focus just on one idea, this is easy. But in case you have to focus on many things simultaneously, this is where it gets so tricky to play. And to keep many options on one hand, it makes your own game a little bit more complex. But in case you get used to that, I think it's a good strategy. So just to keep many different options. We have the move f4. Ooh, I don't like this move. I don't like the move e4 because we have here the check, and it is maybe already a winning position for black. This is not looking like a good move to me, because you're closing your queen in the bathroom. I like to call it the queen is visiting the bathroom, and this is usually not the best idea. So let's focus. We give a check. King gets to b2. Now we have moved like bishop on g4 because there's knight on c4 check coming next. Yeah, this looks very good. So let's give a check as well. This is a pin. So with white, very difficult to get rid of this pin even. And now we have the move d4. Is it a win straight away to play the move d4? The knight has to go somewhere, maybe a4. In case I take the bishop, my knight is falling, and I play bishop f5. This is much better position for black, but I think we might be doing even something more evil to our opponent, and I believe it is the move bishop g4. Let's double check. Rook here, we're gonna take knight c4. Yeah, this works. In case bishop takes, we can take first of all like this. Secondary, we have this move. So this looks like a great decision, I think, in case I'm not making a miscalculation, which of course can happen. But should we play it? Let's double check again. Knight bishop g4. Okay, looks like the right decision. By the feeling, this looks like the right decision. And again, we go here into tactical battle. So tactics are so important. In case you're not good in tactics, you will be not able to execute a good strategy. This is a problem. To execute good strategy, you must be good in tactics. Otherwise, you will be always missing something. So try to be this kind of calculator, at least 1, 2, 3 moves ahead. This is so important. Don't blunder something big. This is crucial. Once you blunder something big, that's it. So for example, bishop g4, it might be already a winning move. If there is no defense, then simply black is winning. And if I would not play the move bishop g4, yes, I have good option like d4, for example. In case I give a check, it makes no sense because bishop takes and the king is relatively safe. So instead of playing bishop on g4, I had an option d4. Yes, looks very, very good. And maybe there is something after the move d4, like the move bishop g4 still. But the tactics make you so sharp, so you are so precise in execution in case you're doing well in tactics. That's why first tactics, endgames, positional play, then you can go with openings. Let's see, what do we have? What do we have? In the chat, we have Yamanka saying, love your streams, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, HDBM is asking about knight c4. I think knight c4 not the best HDBM because, as I said, there's just bishop takes, dc, and it's difficult to break the pawn on b3. There is also rook h1 coming with a tempo. Still, we have the move rook on e1, but I think, what is the idea if I take and I have this check here? What could be the idea of my opponent? Because I have the move d4, which also looks like a winning move because this is only, and I take just the bishop. But maybe we can take immediately. Probably he wants to take with a knight because there is nothing else. Now we give a check here on c4. There's king b1. Is it a win? Okay, it's very, very close to be a winning position, but maybe the move d4 is just finishing the game instantly. There is some kind of rook d4, take knight on e5, we can take with a queen, exchange up, should be a winning position. So maybe the move d4 is game over, but we have this knight e4 after the move d4. Ooh, this is beautiful, this is beautiful. I almost got tricked. Alright, we take here. Now we should, I think, give a check because it feels like the right move to do. King on b1, where is a checkmate? Maybe just to play rook e8. So we have the slow checkmate coming. We have this kind of knight there or queen c5 first, which is also not looking bad, but I think to play rook e8 feels like the right decision. To put the rook here, we have the pin. I think should be not bad, so let's play it. And next we should try to give a checkmate to the white king. Maybe this one. Is it a checkmate? Because I would like to go queen a3 plus knight on a3. Maybe I should have done it immediately, by the way. Queen c5. Yeah, queen c5 might have won the game instantly because of this queen a3 idea. There's knight c3, queen a3, knight f4. I'm gonna take. Yeah, this would have won the game immediately. Queen c5, by the way. I missed it. Well, we saw the move we saw the move queen c5, but I did not play it because I was not 100% sure. And usually when you're playing rapid blitz game, just get the pieces into the game first. Let's see what happens later. But objectively speaking, this would have been a better play. Queen on c5, yeah. Knight on c1, interesting. What happens in case I play queen on c3? There is taking on e8, then take the knight. Yeah, this is not so good. So we have this check here on d2, check here, c3. I give check on c4, king here, knight e3. I think it wins. I think knight on d2 is winning now the game. Let's double check, but I see no defense. By the way, to take is also enough to be much better, but obviously we would like to win the game straight away. I think it wins. Quite beautiful, by the way, quite nice win. Is it a win? By the way, I think it is. So we give a check, only move. There is nothing else. Our opponent is considering not to play king on b2, but it's the only move to play. Little bit strange to think here, because there is just nothing else that white is capable of doing except king on b2. So a little bit surprising thinking. He is still thinking, but about what? There is just one move. The rest is completely lost. So why is he taking his time about playing king on b2? There is just king on b2, so we have the check. This has been our idea, c3, and now comes another check here on c4. So I saw that there is no way to save the game now for white, because where to go? We have king on c2, we have knight on e3. In case of king b1, king on c2 played. Even here, queen f2 finishes the game even quicker. So quite nice, quite nice. We calculated the line not badly. Now we play the move queen on f2 and that's it. Knight e3, of course, would be enough to win the game, but this is more beautiful. As you can see, the white king here on c2 is getting checkmated. Now we have many different checkmates, but we have the checkmate in one. So we push the F button, boom. Every time we have something special, I am pushing this F button. It means there is a great move here and we can finish the game instantly with a beautiful checkmate. Please write your opinion in the chat. We have here very, very nice move. So, leave your comments, and 10 seconds from now I'm gonna play the move. Yes, there are many winning continuations. For example, to take is enough to win the game, but to give a checkmate just feels better. Alright, let's give a checkmate. Knight on b2, what a beautiful checkmate. Take a look at that. King is on d3 in the middle of the board. And we are checkmating with the move knight on b2. Very, very nice. So all in all, quite a cool game, by the way. I think we played nicely, and as you can see, it finishes now with a checkmate. King in the center. Nowhere to go, the queen, so powerful, yeah. And look at this queen on h6, is what I said earlier. Don't visit the bathroom with your queen during the game. This is a bad idea. So queen should be central, very strong piece. To put your queen to bathroom is just not the right way to handle the lady. Let's go with the next 10-minute game. Alright, let's go with a move e4. In case you're new to VChess channel, like and subscribe for tactical battles, positional play, etc, etc. And of course, join the VChess family. Knight f6, knight on c3. So we had already a very similar opening. Maybe actually we played against the same guys this opening. No, I don't remember exactly, but looks like same thing against same guy. So we play the move e5. I think he played knight g4, yeah. So we take because the e5 pawn would be under attack. Next we are defending the pawn on e5. Next we play the move d3, and then we develop the bishop, so play the move d3. The bishop is getting to f4. This is usually the best place for the bishop. And long run, we try to play against the bishop on g7. As you can see already now, the bishop is very poorly positioned on g7. It is waiting for happening something to the pawn e5, but it's very difficult that the pawn f5, the pawn e5 is going anywhere. So the pawn is going to stay there. That's why maybe... how did we play here? I think queen on d2. Let's go. Bishop on g7, not the best. Bishop on c8 as well, not a perfect piece. So, let's see what is going to happen next. Very, very solid opening for white. We might play this knight in e4, beautiful knight. In general, the idea is of course to play here on the king side, so h3. Quite useful in many positions, but otherwise we will try to get the bishop to h6, f6. All right, he is not giving us a chance to play something normal. Now we have to fight here. F6, what is the idea of the move f6? Maybe g5, because to take is always better for white, so I'm not afraid of taking. We can take ourselves, and this might lead to slightly better play for white, in my opinion. So we have a choice to play EF, get a slightly better play to play H3. Looks as well as slightly better position for white in my opinion. What should we do? Slightly better and slightly better. Which slightly better should we choose? Maybe to take, let's go with an easy move, but on the other hand, I think we have something better. I just don't see it. Maybe to start with the move knight e4 because it is a tempo. b6 has to be played and maybe proceed with h3, so very, very cautious play. To play e6, also very interesting, but these positions are crazy after e6. They might be very good for white, but they might be also not very good for white because we might just lose the pawn. That's why we have to be very, very careful with the move e6. So, finally, what should we play here? Maybe let's get the knight into the game, knight e4. And then we think what we are going to play later. So the pawn is under attack, we have the beautiful knight, we can still take on f6, or we can still considering waiting here. Because the pawn on e5 cannot be easily attacked, so I'll always have this bishop takes e5 in case black takes. Looking fine, I think. Knight on f5 might go to d4, yeah, this is what we see. In most of the cases we are taking the knight on d4, but here we might consider winning the pawn on c5. Knight takes, is it a good position, but we have this kind of double pawns there. Still, it might be better for white in my opinion, maybe also to take here, but all of this is looking a little bit complex. Let's take. Let's play a pure positional game. I believe white is doing better, so we have no reason to risk here. We can keep the pawn on e5 by just waiting, or we can play the move bishop h6, which is also looking very, very good here in my opinion. We can also take here on f6, black has to take, and now maybe something like queen on b4, so we try left-right. Left-right, is it gonna work? I think it's better for white. Looks like nice, actually, it looks nice. Let's go for that, because I think the bishop on c8 is not yet developed, so it's not gonna be easy with the bishop. We can play move bishop h6, it's also better because we have the knight-queen combo is better than the bishop-queen combo. So, to play bishop h6, not a bad decision, but I think that we are capable of playing queen b4. This move is so unpleasant. We have here many checks. We have knight on d6 coming, bishop on d6 coming. Wow. Looks really scary for black, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but it feels that white is having quite a nice advantage, by the way, yeah. Quite nice. So, what do we have here in the chat? We have Naiditsch, you're number 8 global in Rapid, holy crap. Yes, HDBM always tells me the same. He says, Mr. Naiditsch, you must take care about the rating here. Rating, it's all about the rating, but for me, I think I'm streaming not to gain the rating. I'm streaming to give you some nice chess analysis. So for me, I don't care, to be honest, too much about the rating here. I would like just to enjoy, so we have cool games, we have some fun. This is what matters. B6, what is this move B6? Because we have Queen C4 and Knight on D6. C6 is also under attack. We have Bishop D6, which might be almost winning. I think we should be able here to get some huge advantage for white, in my opinion. How can we do that? How can we do that? We need to calculate the lines. Is it a win to play move bishop on d6? There is some kind of rook f7. We have still the pin, but it's not a win yet. I think we should just... But I can take the pawn. Looks almost winning, I would say. Almost a winning position, but also knight on d6. What's the problem with the move knight on d6? Just take the pawn. Where should we take the pawn on c6? Too many options. Too many good options here for white. I'm getting confused, but I think knight on d6 looks like a nice move. It looks like a beautiful move. I think I'm gonna play it, because how can this move be wrong? We would like to give a check, knight on f7, so this would be just straight game over. And is there a defense for black, actually? Maybe there might be something that I'm missing, but it looks like not so easy for black to defend now from this tricky check. Also, we might be able just to take the pawn on d4. To take a central pawn is never a bad idea. Let's see, let's see, let's see. For the moment, we are doing very well. I think b6 move. He is under pressure and still he plays the move b6. It is not looking correct, because being under such a pressure and stay so calm like the move b6, well, you are asking for trouble. Let's see, let's see, let's see. So let's see what do we have in the chat. So Rita C again is writing some nonsense. Rita, come on. We have here a serious channel. We try to become a better chess player. So, in case you have some questions, by the way, ask them in the chat. Don't be shy. There are no bad questions, so just ask whatever you think is interesting. We have good people here that are fully capable of answering most of your questions. So it's not only me. We have many good guys here on VChess. We have excellent community. Sometimes, yeah, we have people whose messages have to be deleted, but I think we're doing way better than the most communities. In the most communities, once you watch the chat, it is just horrible. This is horrible. So, let's see. Our opponent is taking his time before his next move. So, very interesting. What is going to happen next? We have this g5. Wow. g5. This is a serious mistake. So, I think I have now a winning continuation here for white. And I'm first gonna play the move and then we're gonna push the boom. So, it is Queen C4 check. This is move number 1, and now I am pushing the F. Boom! It means there is something special, and we have, I think, 2 extremely beautiful wins here. Let's see which one you like more. Please write your opinion in the chat. We have 2 ways to win the current position, and one is extraordinary beautiful. Maybe I'm gonna play it. It is... Okay, it is not really needed. I will show you. I will show you after the game. We have 2 extremely beautiful wins. I'm gonna choose the easiest one, but we're gonna check later the beautiful one as well, because the beautiful one is actually not the most precise. So that's why I don't want to play the beautiful one. I'm gonna play the easy one. 20 more seconds to write your opinion in the chat, and then you'll see a nice tactics that I think is almost giving us a full point because it looks hopeless, the position after the move we will be making. Alright, let's do the move. It is a move knight on f7. So here comes the check on f7. We just take here and we have this rook on e8 next. So position is basically game over. Bishop on f5, avoiding the rook e8, but now rook on e7. Looks good, no? Oh, it's a trick. It's a trick. Rook e7. There is some kind of bishop f8. Ooh. I didn't see this. Bishop f8. Too happy, but queen takes f6 wins, so it's alright. That's alright. Let's go with the move rook e7. Let's double check if there is no blunder. To blunder now would be a disaster. So rook e7 looks very, very good here. We are so good on the 7th rank. The bishop is under attack, but that's okay. We can move the bishop back. I think we are very, very close. He plays the move bishop h6, but we can simply take now the pawn on f6, I think, and it is complete game over. So we take the pawn. This is a check, and I think our opponent is going to resign now. Yes, he resigns, and we have 2,800. I think for the first time. For the first time, we are breaking the 2,800. We've been many times so close to the 2,800, but we could not break it. Now we did it for the first time. Give some likes for this special moment here live on the stream. We are breaking the 2,800. Hadi BM, I guess, is now very, very happy. Hadi takes always care about the rating. We are 2-8. To celebrate this special event, we will be playing one game. So I will be playing one game against one of you. And who will be the opponent for today? Who has been always with us? We have Santos. Santos, are you still here? Santos, you are always one of the first to say hello. Actually, usually second after Miner is always the first. So Santos, in case you are here, let's go with the next game. Are you here, Santos? I wanted to show you also the beautiful checkmate. Here, rook e8. I think it was proposed by Heidi BM also. Very, very beautiful, because in case there is rook takes, we have check, and we have this spectacular checkmate. The problem that after rook on e8, there is a defense, and it is to take here on d6, take and rook e8. And yes, we are completely winning here, but it's still a game, so I thought it will be a little bit more easy to do something else. Alright, next game against Santos. Where are you, Santos? I see, here we go, Santos, Santos Sivan, yeah, is it you? Santos, make some noise if this is you, because otherwise there might be some other Santos, but I think this is the correct Santos. This is VChess community Santos, Santos Sivan. Thank you very much for all the nice comments. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you. Yes, I am. Okay, let's go against Santos. One game per stream. I'm always playing against you guys. We cannot play too many games because then we lose the meaning of the whole stream, because I would like to have educational stream, but one game is always. Alright, so we have e4, c5, knight on f3. Let's go with the move d6. We're gonna play the Naiditsch against the Santos. So let's take. Knight goes to f6. All is main line of the theory. I Play Chess is also here with us. I Play Chess, welcome, welcome. We just made it to 2,800 for the first time. Many times we've been so close, but then we got crushed. So finally. Yeah, we have Naiditsch with the move bishop e3, the main line. Let's go. e5. This is the very main line of the Naiditsch. Now we have knight on b3 as a main continuation. There is also the move knight on f3, not a bad move at all. So we have the move knight on b3. This is a very main line. Bishop on e6. I think first time I played this knight offline I have been maybe 13 years old, and back then computers been not so good. So we analyzed everything on the board. It was funny times where the engines, they've been not good at all. Now everything has changed. Bishop e2, queen on d2, unusual move order. Oh, long castle. Usually when you're playing the long castle, it's better to play with the move f3 because then you have the g4 continuation immediately. So the mix, bishop e2 and queen on d2, is played very, very rarely. Usually you don't combine these two ideas in one. Knight on d7, typical play for neither. The idea is to play b5, b4 to get the rook on c8, and then we start putting some pressure. We have the move f4. This is a good idea. Maybe this was the idea of Santos, of this queen on d2, f4, but still it is pretty unusual. So maybe it's something interesting, but very, very unusual play. With black, we can take, or we could go with the move b5. I think b5 is looking very aggressive, so let's try with the move b5. We would like to push the move b4 in case we can. The pawn on e4 might get weak after we play the move b4. So let's see. Very interesting position. The next couple of moves are going to be extremely important. Like in every Sicilian game, it's like move on move. Who is faster? White is pushing, black is pushing. And finally, there will be someone who will be outpushed. Let's see who will be outpushed. All right, knight on d5. Is it working? Because we can take now the pawn on e4. Maybe this is the idea of Santos, to sacrifice the pawn on e4 and try to have some kind of play with the move queen on d3. I don't know. To me, it looks like it is a pawn up for black. So, as I like to remember the words of Kasparov, the chess player has to be greedy. Greedy is the right approach for a chess player. So usually, in case we can win something, we just win. I think I can take the pawn. So let's take the pawn. Let's take the pawn. So, HDBM is asking, do you mind if I made a clip for this moment and used your photo with AI? HDBM, the question is, where do you want to publish the clip? Of course, there is no problem. Just let us know where do you want to publish this kind of things. So there is no misunderstanding with something. So, let's see. In general, HDBM, again, a good idea, but please just let us know how you want to do that, and of course, no problem. Queen on d3, attacking now the knight on e4, but I think we have a couple of defenses here. It is to play d5, for example. Central play, never a bad idea. We have the move f5, which is also not a bad idea. So I think I will proceed with the move f5. I like it. We are defending the knight on e4, and it looks like Santos played a bit too early the move knight on d5. Because to give a central pawn, when you're doing something like that, you must be like 100% sure that you're doing the right stuff. So to give a pawn in the center, you have to be very, very cautious if you're doing the right thing. Now the next move by black. In theory, we have here this nice little threat, which might even trap the queen eventually. Wow, to trap a queen in the middle of the board, happening very rarely. So this would be a special moment, because usually to trap a queen is a very difficult thing to do. Santos, what is possible to do for Santos here? Oh, he doesn't see that. He's missing the next move of black, and it is a F push position. Boom. The move rook f1 is not a bad move, but we have now a winning continuation. Please write your ideas in the chat. For those of you who've been listening carefully, I guess you know what is the next move, but still, it is a beauty, because to trap a queen is just so difficult. So we have a question: would you recommend online endgame puzzles or over the board chess book? Always over the board, and very simple reason. In case you are watching a PC, you have two-dimensional vision, so it is 2D. In case you do on the chessboard, it is three-dimensional, so you have just a different vision, and your brain functions a little bit differently in case you have the online stuff. So, in case you're serious about improving chess, take out a chessboard, set up the position, don't be lazy, and focus. This is the way to improve. There are no professional chess players that are training with a computer, solving puzzles, etc. Professional chess players are always doing this on the board because of the 2D and 3D. It's a bit different. It's not a big difference, but still there is a difference. So, in case you would like to improve efficiently, choose the three-dimensional, of course. Bishop on c4, very good. Those of you who saw the move bishop c4, nice. The queen is trapped on d3, no moves left for Santos. What to do, Santos? It feels, of course, very upsetting to lose the queen, but what to do? This is what is happening sometimes. In case you would like to read some books, please visit our Shopify store. We have books directly for download in ebook format, so in 2 minutes. And also we offer the books so cheap, 5 USD, 7 USD, so cheap. So we have good books in case you became a fan of me. Of course, you can download as well some books which been made by me. So it's up to you, but I would definitely recommend my books with Balogchab. I think very good books, because we made them over the board, so high quality. Let's come back to the current game. We have here the queen on d3, which is trapped. Santos is panicking. What should be played now by white? It looks like desperation, a moment of desperation on the board. I don't think there is something that can be done here. So, Max Burkat, you're asking about the books with some puzzle books. We have so many nice puzzle books for download. Just check out the Shopify store. So many good puzzle books. Depends which level you're interested in. So, you have to check. Depending on your level. Santos is resigning, and yeah, that's of course very sad end of the game, but what to do? When you're playing the main line of Naiditsch, you must be ready to play a hard game. This idea in general with the move bishop e2, queen on d2, as I mentioned, is a bit unusual. Now after the move b5, this is not the move to play. Knight on d5, way too early. And yeah, here already many problems for white. So Santos, what to do? You're playing the most sharp opening maybe in chess. You have to be ready to play a tough game. Each mistake might cost the game. This is the way it goes in the Naiditsch. Alright, let's go. Santos means happy. Yeah, to be happy, this is nice. Let's go with the next 10-minute game. We are facing always random opponents, so I'm not selecting my opponents. Whoever comes, we are playing. Next game, we have the move d4, knight on f6. Let's go now with the move e6. We played King's Indian a couple of times. Now we will play the very safe d5, Queen's Gambit, or should we play the Vienna? I think for a long time we've been not playing the Vienna, but Vienna is just so difficult to play. Let's go with semi-Tarrasch. With the move c5, this is semi-Tarrasch. With the move knight takes d5. I have played a lot of games in semi-Tarrasch, and I think I won a game against Kramnik with the black pieces here in the classical chess. With the semi-Tarrasch, if I remember correctly, we had many games here. So this is a very tricky opening. Our opponent is blitzing out his moves. Why is he doing that? He is so quick. It is still theory. Knight on d7 and b6. All is pretty normal. The bishop is getting here to b7 and rook c8. The idea of black, we try to change as many pieces as we can. The idea for white, to push something in the center. So both of us, we have our own plans and we try to execute them. Now the bishop is under attack, so let's see where the bishop is going to go. Normally these two moves are something standard. We have bishop on d3, this is normal. And sometimes here white is aiming for this kind of d5 pawn sacrifice, which could be sometimes dangerous. Let's play with the move queen on e7. I like this kind of moves. There's kind of silent but nice moves like queen on e7. We are connecting the rooks and we see what happens next. So again, idea of black in these positions is to change as many pieces as possible. Idea for white is to break through in the center. We have immediately the move d5, but I don't think it is a great move now. It doesn't look like. Let's see, we can take, this is option number one, we can play the move e5, also not looking so bad, but e5 usually is not the way to play the position, so I think I should just take on d5. This would be the normal approach. Knight on c5 followed by the move rook d8 is also possible, so this leads to crazy positions. Let's go with a crazy play. So we have a little bit more funny position on the board. Knight on c5. Now I would like to take the bishop, so I think with white to take here on e6, this would be approximately equal. We'll see a move like bishop on b1 in most of the cases. And next I would like to play the move rook to d8, so I'm provoking him into playing the move d6. You will see why am I doing that, because I would like to play queen f6, here e5 and to go queen f4, but they might be knight on d4, so not sure, maybe simply to take on d5 is the best. Next, oh, bishop c4, this is a move into the wrong direction. Now I think black should be doing very well here. We have the simple take like a solution. We have rook d8 also now like okay solution. I think I should take it. This looks okay, because if bishop takes, we have a beautiful position. Pawn takes is sort of a must, but now the bishop on c4, in my opinion, poorly positioned, because it can be attacked. So it feels like, I don't know, bishop is not where it belongs. Queen f6 is the normal approach here, because to block the pawn with the queen, it's possible, but usually we don't want to do that. So maybe queen on f6, or there is some kind of knight e5 idea. We play rook e8, and looks okay for black, I think. Maybe we should block it with the queen. It's not something that we do usually, so I don't like it. Queen f6. Let's play the correct chess. To block a pawn with a queen is not the right approach. So I don't like it. By the feeling, it's not what we should do. Now we have here an endgame coming eventually, and endgames are usually good for our black, so I'm happy to play the endgame. Let's go for the endgame. This is what we wanted. Now we have the beta structure, so in theory, long term, it's gonna be not easy for white, except there is something direct like the move d6, but I don't think it's dangerous at the moment, so maybe we can play rook e8, maybe we should get immediately rook to d8. But I think we have the option of rook e8, so why not to play it? We... yes, I think it's okay. Next is king f8. So the idea is change, and eventually we will get a slightly better endgame for black. He's giving us the file, that's alright. We might be able to play the move rook e4, so we continue with our strategy. I like it. Maybe we have the move knight on e4 as well, because in case of d6 we have this knight takes d6, little tactics. Knight a4, there is a move like bishop b5, so I don't know. Let's go more simple. Is it possible to go more simple? I think. Does it work? Does it work? Let's calculate. So take. There is a move d6. We are trying to capture the pawn. Yeah, this looks okay. It seems to work. Maybe we should be more careful with the move king f8 first, but if we can play the move rook e4, it's just so good. So let's go. Let's go with the move rook e4 because it feels good, and we should trust in ourselves that we make the right decision. So let's go. Let's go with the move rook on e4. We continue with what we started. Let's try to change as many pieces as we can. And we're trying to obtain this kind of endgame where we slowly will be able to collect the pawn on the d file. Let's see if we can manage, of course, but we have an idea. d6 immediately. What happens in case I take? Maybe the idea is to take with a knight, but does it work? It looks so weird. I think I will take, because I don't believe that I will not be able to collect the pawn on d6. I should be somehow slowly be able to get the pawn on d6. It feels like a strong pawn, but once you have the pawn on d6, you need a lot of pieces to support the pawn on d6, because it will give you some extra chances for very active play. But in case you cannot support the pawn on d6 with some attack or with something very dynamic, then you will see very soon what is going to happen to the pawn on d6. It's going to fall. So d6 can be very good, but in an endgame it is just a bad pawn. Now with white, it is very important to be very cautious. White has to really give the best possible here, not to lose a pawn on d6. I have, for example, king f8, always a good move. So I think we're gonna play it, because always good move is always good move. So let's play the move king on f8. We are getting closer. We are getting closer to the pawn on d6, step by step. And at some moment we will be able to collect it. Let's see what is happening next, but I think very soon white is going to lose a pawn on d6. This is what I would expect in the current position, and you can see that we have this beautiful structure with a7 and b6. Idea, rook e7. Yes, I do see this, but what happens in case of bishop e4? We are attacking the knight, and I think next we're gonna take the pawn on d6. Finally, we will be able to take the pawn. I don't see a defense, so let's go with the move bishop e4. We are attacking the knight, we are preventing the move rook e7. There is still trouble here on the first rank, so I think we should be able to win the pawn. And in case we win the pawn, then we have very good chances, obviously, to win the game. So, step by step. Now, next stage is bishop on g6, attacking the pawn. The rook comes here. We might be able to play knight b7, d7, knight c5 back, and we're gonna win the pawn slowly. Yes, this is good. Is it good to play the move bishop d3, because it might win the pawn immediately, and obviously it is also changing a couple of pieces, so I think I'm gonna play the move bishop d3, because what is the defense? What is the defense for white? I don't see a defense, so let's go. Bishop d3. We are playing according to our strategy. Change, collect the pawn on d6. We are very close to the final stage of our first plan. It is to get the pawn on d6. Let me read now the comments. We have a lot of comments. Of course, please mark your comments in case you would like to ask something that I see. Otherwise, I'm just reading time to time. So, what do we have? If the Gukesh is going to defend his title, I think Gukesh has almost zero chances to defend his title, in my opinion. So, I don't think he will be able to do that. Now, a7 pawn is hanging, but what is happening in case I play the move a5? There is some rook b7. Ooh, I didn't see that. I did not see that. Ooh, this is super bad. We had almost a winning position. I didn't see that there is this rook on b7. What a blunder by me. Terrible. What a terrible blunder. Now, probably the position is just approximately equal. This is terrible. Too much talk, too little play. Okay, what can we do? We have to play, I think. Now we have to take. There is nothing better. Why did I give the pawn for nothing? This is really bad. Okay, so we have to take. Still, we might get a little chance here to play for a win, but of course, to give a pawn for free. Terrible. Terrible blunder by me. Still, we have slightly better position here. So maybe we'll get some little chances to play for a win. Let's see. There is some problem here with the king on g1. So we would like to get knight f4 and then rook to d1. This might be difficult to defend for white. So our position actually was so good that even by this blunder we're still pushing. It's usually a very good sign. It means you've been doing so well that even after mistakes still it's alright. Let's see what happens next. Of course, the next move of white is going to be decisive, because or he finds a way to defend the current position, or I will get this kind of rook c1, and then most probably we'll have knight f1. Whoa, knight on f1, very unusual defense, let's call it like that. This is a next move, or I don't know. So I think I should go with the move rook on c6, because to get the rook on c2, this would mean trouble for white in most of the cases. We will be pushing here on the second row. It's gonna be very dangerous. Maybe there's a defense, but knight f1 so passive. So this kind of very passive defense in most of the cases is not ideal. In case you're defending something, it would be better with an active defense. Passive defense, very suspicious in most of the cases. Sometimes it might work, but in most of the cases. So now rook a3, actually great move by our opponent. This move is very good. Knight on c1, will I be able to win the pawn? So we will try to win the pawn on a2 next. Let's see if we will be able. In case we get the pawn, then we are pushing. So, of course, we have here the little checkmate idea. And our opponent is thinking once again very long. Why is he taking so much time before playing the next move? This knight on e3. What is that? What is that? Is it working to play knight on e3? It might be working, but so tricky. Okay, let's give a check. It's so dangerous. How is he playing so dangerous? Now knight f4, because there is a checkmate coming on c1. Such a dangerous play. Okay, maybe a great play, but so dangerous. I don't know. Very strange play by our opponent. Very strange. f3. He is playing just perfect moves. Because super weird moves, but they all work. Very strange. Alright. What to do? How can we fight here for a win? I think we have to get this h5, h4 idea. But he's defending amazingly. Just amazing play by our opponent, what to say. I don't know how he is able to play this kind of level of defense, because just perfect defense. Rook a3, king f1, knight on e3. Incredible defense. Super high level. Or a very strong player, but before he played not so well, so strange, but alright. Let's fight, knight e6, knight on d4 next. Maybe still we'll get some little chances here to play for a win, but slowly he is just outplaying us. What can I say? He is just outplaying. Now knight c5, this has been my idea, because the rook has no good moves to play. Where can the rook be moved now? Is there somewhere to go? And b5, b4. So we try to push a little bit. As you can see, we have always a better knight plus a better structure. So to defend this kind of positions is such a difficult task over the board. because you always face a little trouble here, little trouble there. To defend positions like this is a difficult task. Not an easy task at all. He would like to play... Actually, I don't know what he would like to play, but what do we want to play? Maybe let's go with this one. So we get the knight on c3 eventually. If I get now the rook to the second rank, I will be playing for a win very heavily. So let's go here. Rook quite passive. Maybe rook on d6 next. As you can see, still black is pushing here. Oh, he lets the rook there. This is super poor play. Before he defended so well. I mean, like a genius defense. And then we see a move like a3 and rook a5. What a combination of moves, because it makes no sense. You're putting your both pieces, especially the rook, it should be active. You don't put your rook on a5. So this is very, very surprising after unbelievable defense, because he defended so well. And then we have the move a3. So I continue pushing knight f1, another great defense. I think I also saw that as the only move, but the problem is now we get the rook on e1, so this is not gonna be an easy draw. This is not an easy draw, because now the a pawn is under attack. And I thought b4 is possible, but maybe again there is something unbelievable going on here. But I don't see it, so I think b4. After unbelievable defense, we have complete collapse of our opponent. Played so well for so long. And now, out of nowhere, he puts his rook in the bathroom. So the rook stays there for a little while. Okay, this is usually what happens in case you go to bathroom. And now, just simple one move, basically game over idea, because now we can win the pawn and it is a winning position. So let's take with the rook, because I'm afraid that we'll be missing something and we might not be able to win the game. So let's be sure that we are winning. And where should I get my rook? So let's get first the king and then we get the knight. King is getting to a very nice position because we're gonna take away all the pawns there. Now we are playing what we're playing, how to get the knight into attacking something. Let's play here. No time, no time. No time. Next is knight on e2, so we should be able to win a couple of pawns. Knight on e4. Knight on e4, I thought I play here, and then we have this kind of maneuver, or f5. Should be enough to win the game. f5, now I'm getting the pawn on g3, and then I will get the rest. Of course, few seconds on the clock, but it should be enough to win the game. Now it is not so difficult to win the current game, but let's see if I will manage. Knight on h3. Okay, let's go here. And let's play... Oh, this I cannot pass here. What is it? Incredible. I cannot win the current game. No, I should be able to win it somehow. So we're getting the pawn. Let's get the pawn. Now let's get the last one. We're getting the last pawn. And yeah, we should be able to win the game. What a game! Tough fight. We had a very, very tough fight. So now let's see if we can checkmate with a queen more. I think we should be able, and we're checkmating, but what a fight! First, it was looking quite easy. We had a better position, and yeah, but then and some unbelievable defense by our opponent. I mean, like, completely unbelievable. No idea how it's possible to find this kind of, unreal defensive skills by our opponent, but then he puts his rook on a5, and you say, how is it possible? So, alright. An interesting game, very entertaining, and in the end we're lucky to win the game. So slowly we've been pushing. It was at some moment, I think, just a draw, but we had still a little bit better position, so we managed to outpush our opponent, but it was not an easy task. G3. Now let's go with a King's Indian setup. For those of you who like this kind of setups, I think you are enjoying playing them. We played the move d4, so we have King's Indian with the move d4, d5, and c3. Alright, and we have a new VChess crew member, B-Mund3J. Wow, hard name. Welcome. Welcome to the VChess family. I hope you're enjoying the stream so far. So, welcome. There are good things to come from very couple of days. A couple of days up to a week max. And there are good new things to come on the channel. We will be making some new chess material, endgames, stuff like this. And this is going to be for the members. So, a little bit of patience is needed still. And then we have it. So, we have this kind of symmetrical structure. Now it's a little bit not symmetrical because of knight on d7 and no bishop on f5. Position is more or less equal, so not much is going on here. Now knight takes e3 and knight takes f4 is normal, so we go away from this threat. Let's see if we see the move e5, which would be normal, but the knight is not doing so well on h5. So yes, we see the move e5 being played, so we simply take. And as you can see, not perfect knight. So we might be able to play the move bishop d4. We are offering the exchange of bishops. Still, position is very close to be equal, objectively speaking, of course, but maybe some very small advantage here for white, like very small one. Now, should we take it or should we wait for the move knight on f6? I think both is possible, but I like to take because I'm aiming for a very small advantage here, and I might be able to get it. So, let's see what happens next, but we might be able to get a little better position. And I think from such an opening, it's perfect. Knight h5 is out of the game, so once you see knight out of the game, it means you need to do something. Boom, we play immediately in the center. Knight is bad, you feel, alright. Time to push. Let's push. We play the move e4. d4. This is a bad idea. Don't take hard action when your knight is completely away from the action. So basically d4 is maybe okay, but from the strategical point of view, this is so dangerous. Now black is playing with this horrible knight on h5. So such a risky play. I think I will be playing the move e5 just to close the knight forever. I could have taken the pawn as well, but I think e5 is just too tempting not to play. We have here the knight on h5. The knight is never gonna join the game. Next we can play, okay, take. And then we have this move, for example. The knight is gonna get to d6. And black is waiting with the knight on h5. Maybe something like king g8, knight g7, but it all takes time. So I think my opponent is choosing a very risky strategy. Bishop on e6, he's not afraid that I just take the knight. Well, why he's not afraid of that? I don't know exactly. So I will play the move knight on e4. Feels good to get a knight on d6 first before I will be doing something very unpleasant to the position of black. Queen takes, alright, so we take back. We have to be careful here of the pawn on a2. On the other hand, after knight on d6, the b7 so bad. We have pressure with a bishop on g2, so also knight on c5 is looking very good. And still, the knight on h5, completely out of the game. We have Anand Harajan is saying strategic collapse. Okay, not yet a collapse, but very near to that, yeah. If you have a knight on h5, I think you're telling yourself something went not the way it should. because this knight on h5 is going to be there forever. Still, position is not like winning for white. Black can fight here. It's not over, but white is doing obviously much better. So we have the move rook on d8. Now in case of knight on d6, the idea is probably to play rook b8 and keep this kind of unpleasant position. Maybe not a bad choice. What happens in case I go knight c5? He wants to take and to take on a2. I have this rook on d7. Looks very good for white. I don't know, but it looks like a great position for white to me. But this knight on d6 is also looking very nice. So we have two options. Both of them are looking pretty promising. One is slightly better, very long term. The other option is also looking good. So knight on d6 or knight on c5. What should we do? It is always a choice. It is most difficult to take because the rest is easy, but the choice sometimes is hard. I don't know. Both of this is looking just great. Maybe I'm gonna play knight on c5, but not sure if that's the best, but looks strong, no? We are trying to get the bishop. We are trying to get the pawn. Knight is completely out of the game, so in case we have some action, we're having basically a piece up position because the knight is completely out of the action. So theoretically, it's like piece up in case there is some kind of take stuff going on. Looks good. Looks good. What can I say? Knight on c5, beautiful knight, yeah. So let's see. What do we have in the chat? Chat is very shy today. There are no bad questions, and once again I would like to remind that we have so many great people here in the VChess family that just ask your questions. If I don't see a question, there is somebody else to answer it. Don't be shy, there are no bad questions. We are here to learn, so we are here to discover some new tactical ideas, positional ideas, to become a better chess player. So a question is very normal. Even if you feel not confident enough, you're just making your first steps into the world of chess, doesn't matter. So we cannot be good in everything. This is so normal. Sometimes we're good in one thing, sometimes in two, but all the rest, we are all the same. So there are no bad questions, don't be shy. Tips to grow from 2000 to 22. Hard work, man, hard work. What else can I say? I think you know yourself, there are no easy ways to grow from 2000 to 2200. So usually at this kind of level there is no easy improvement. You have to do tactics all the time, and of course in case you speak of classical chess, you have to play tournaments, because sometimes you might be a good chess player but you don't play enough, and then of course if in case you don't play enough, it's very difficult to compete against a practical player. Let's go b6. So we take the bishop as we wanted. And next we're gonna grab the pawn on c6, obviously. So we take the pawn. Rook is under attack, knight is out of the game. We are having a pawn up position. Bishop d7, bishop e6, looks good, no? Or is there something that I'm missing? Let's double check, but I don't know. So let's go with the move bishop d7. We're attacking the pawn on e6. We're attacking the rook on c8. Knight remains just an observer. Knight just observes what happens on the chessboard. So bishop e6, just compare our bishop to the knight on h5. This is a sad story for the knight. Imagine if the chess pieces could talk to their owners. What would the knight say now? This would be forbidden for YouTube. So we have the move rook on e8. We have this kind of attack, but we have this check here. Or should we play the move rook to d6 first? What is actually better? Hard to say because both is looking so nice, but I think rook on d6, no? Looks pretty good. Let's go with the move rook on d6 because it's so easy. We're defending the bishop on e6. Next move is f4. No threats whatsoever. We bring the next rook into the game, and that's it, I think. Except black is having something fantastic, but it doesn't look like that, so it's gonna be an easy win in normal case. King on h6. Oh. I think let's just play the move f4. We are defending the pawn on e5. Next, bishop d7. And this is a queen. Simple strategy, efficient, should be working. But of course, let's see, still a couple of moves to be played here. Maybe the idea is to sacrifice now on f4. But actually, is it a dangerous sacrifice? I don't think so. Because there is nothing, not even a check. That's why I believe we should continue with our idea of promoting the e-pawn. Maybe there's something by black. Maybe there's a sacrifice like this. Take, but we can simply go away. It's not very dangerous. So I think let's go. Let's go with the move bishop on d7. e7, and that's it. Might be already almost a game over because I don't see what our opponent would like to play next. Yes, we could bring the rook into the game, but maybe we're gonna put it on e1 to support this e6, e7 push. Let's see. Should I learn openings at 900 rating? No, you should not. Just do tactics. I'm stuck at 700. Just do tactics. What elo do you think 1800 rapid online converts roughly to classical? Very difficult to say because depends who you play online. It depends on so many things. So I don't know, but I think classical is always lower than the online one. So I would guess maybe 200 points, something like that. Now we have a piece up position here after king h2. Is there something I should fear? I don't think so. For example, we have the move rook f3 on the board. I can play the move f5. Let's say there's a spin here. It looks just like over, no? Is it over? f5. The pawn. Looks like almost over. Of course, maybe I will be missing some tactics and our opponent is going to be back, but in case I don't miss something heavy, it should be enough to win. So we give this check here to the king on g5. King f4, king is running, but e5 pawn is hanging. We can play the move rook f6. I think it is instant game over if I'm not mistaken. So let's double check because we're not in a rush here. We can also take the pawn on g6, which is also looking like game over, but I like the move rook f6 somehow. Maybe matter of taste. Rook on f6. So the f8 rook is under attack. In case rook goes away, we take on g6 and we have here the check. And in case black takes on f6, we take back with the e-pawn and the pawn on f5 protects us. So it's gonna be a queen very, very soon. I think that's it. That's it from the current game. We are winning. In case you're enjoying my comments, obviously like and subscribe. To VChess, we have many great things to come. We just get started here with chess content. So there are many good things to come. This is a promise. Rook on f2. So I can go away. I can change the rooks. Both is looking like it is a win. I don't know what is easier. Okay, let's just change the rooks because there's no way for black to come back from something like this. We change the rooks. The pawns will be walking. So e7 coming next. That's it. That's it. We can, for example, here play e7 and promote into queen. We can also do any other move which is supporting the move e7. But usually, in case we can promote into a queen, of course, we just promote because why not? We have here as a queen. Let's just go back. One check is not deciding the game. So, queen more on the board. That's it from the current game. It looks like we are winning the current game. King on e2. We won the games because of the knight on h5. So quite, I think, a good strategic play. Now we have to deliver a checkmate very, very soon. Here, the rook is falling. And that's it. We won the current game. So let's go with a new opponent. Oh, we have a revenge offer. Okay, let's accept a revenge because I think it's always fair to play a second game, especially when the guy is maybe a little bit upset because he has lost his game. To give a rematch is always fair, in case, of course, the game be normal. I don't like, let's say, when people are doing some nasty stuff like trying to win on time or similar. Then no rematch, but if behavior, I think, is sportive, then of course a rematch is a nice thing. Bishop on g7, we have the King's Indian bishop and h5. I like this move h5. As you know, we play this h4 idea and h3 next. d4, good play by our opponent. Now we can play the move h3. This is not a bad idea. Or we're gonna play something else. We're gonna play a tricky move. Or should we play the move h3 first and then the tricky move? Not sure. Let's go with the tricky move. Knight h6, very tricky development. The usual case is with a knight on f6. But now we put the knight on h6. Why do we play move knight to h6? We play it because we would like to get the knight on f5. So this is very unusual for the structures. And knight on f5 would put pressure on the d4 pawn. Now that white is immediately taking the pawn on c5, which is in most cases not a perfect answer. We will try to win the pawn back on c5, and I think black will be doing well. How can we do that? Maybe with the move queen on a5, because we are attacking the pawn on c5 and not so easy to defend now. The pawn on c5. In most of the cases with white to take the pawn, it's not ideal, so this is not something that should be done. Next, we can take the pawn, or we can take the pawn on g3 first. Maybe let's collect the pawn on g3 first, because anyway white needs to take the pawn. And take a look at this maneuver. Now that the h-file will be open, there is something coming to the h-file. fg, ooh, self-destruction. This is self-destruction, so we take the pawn on c5, and position of white is now looking at least pretty disturbed, because everything is so strangely positioned. The pawn on e3, quite poor. Let's see if we can win the game quickly. Doesn't look like that, so it's still gonna be a very tricky fight here. Knight on c7 coming next. We should not allow that. We can do that by playing queen d6, but it's sort of passive. I don't like passive moves. We have moved knight on b4, not looking bad because we get rid of this power knight on d5. Should we play it? Not looking bad at all to play the move knight on b4. As well, to play move like knight e5 looks pretty decent, because I think b4 doesn't work, but it looks a little bit suspicious. I don't feel like playing knight e5. I think knight on b4 looks better. In my opinion, we change the strongest piece of our opponent, which is usually the right decision. Let's go. Let's go with the move knight on b4. This kind of pawn structure is so bad for every endgame. So in case we are surviving here with the black pieces, till the endgame we should be doing very well. By the way, I had just a short castle, of course, but I was afraid of the move b4. I forgot to tell you, because sometimes when I'm thinking about moves, I don't make them. Maybe I should have played the short castle, but b4 was looking to me like something crazy, because I can never take on b4. There is this bishop a3 coming, and I was not like 100% sure, so... Knight on b4, solid play. We are changing the strongest piece of white. Knight on d4. Okay, let's change immediately the knight on d5. and I think big part of our job is done. We changed the best piece that our opponent had. Next, we should develop the bishop from c8. This is clear. How can we do that? By playing, for example, d6. Looks good. Or should we go immediately somewhere? Not so obvious, so let's go with the move d6, I guess. The bishop is getting into the game, and long term, this structure is just so bad. So long term, we will be dominating the game. Just we need to be a little bit patient now. And our opponent is not in a hurry. This is a big mistake, because when you're doing positionally not so well, you should try to fix your something very quickly, because in case you are slow playing, it means it is not going to be better. So slow play, a worse position, is not the best idea. Now we can go with the move knight on g4, attacking the pawn, then get the knight on e5. Beautiful knight. We have also knight f5, just to change the last good piece of white, and slowly we will be doing much better. So maybe knight on f5 is even easier, because why not? Why not? Knight on f5 looks good. Knight on c, immediately what white can do here. We are changing the good pieces that white has, and our bishops, especially the bishop on g7, is going to be a powerhouse. So let's see. What do we have in the chat? The question is, will I comment on some tournament? Yes, we did. I did some comments on the candidates, but now I'm just playing the rapid games, and we're enjoying the beauty of a chess game. Where should I go with a queen? Maybe c4, actually, not so bad, or c3 to be active. There is some kind of bishop d2 idea, but then we get the queen on d3. So there is some kind of queen a4 check somewhere. Should I play it, or should I just go queen b6 with a better position? Slow play sometimes is the best, but somehow I feel that I would like to play the move queen c4. I don't know why, but it feels very good. On the other hand, queen on b6. How to defend the knight on d4 now? In case knight f5, we take a1. Exchange up for black. Should be enough to win the game. Queen b6. Is there a bishop b2? Then we take on e3. So I don't know how to defend the pawn after the move queen b6. So let me play it, because I don't know how he is planning now to defend knight takes d4 next. To play something like rook a2. Well, this is immediately like admitting that you're going for an endgame, which probably is a lost endgame. So maybe there's knight f5, but I would like to take the rook, because I don't see a reason why I should not take the rook. Looks like exchange up, because there are no threats, no immediate threats at least. So it looks like a nice position. Alright, for those of you who are new to VChess, we have here on VChess educational chess content. We would like to make you a better player. Obviously, if you like my comments, if you like the positions changing, and you are learning something from it, like and subscribe. Tell your friends there is a new channel, VChess, that is coming up. What do we have in the chat? We have a lot of people watching, but everyone is so shy. Don't be shy. Also, you can make friends in the chat, because we have many good guys in the chat. So maybe you can find some good friends for the future, because chess actually makes friends, I think. I still have some friends from the junior championships, because I've been participating in under 10, under 12, etc. So some people that I met there, we've been little boys, then we grow up, and we are still in communication. We have the move queen f3. This is something special, because I can take the knight on d4. This is just weird. Queen on f2 is the idea, so I take. There is some kind of bishop b2 idea. Wow. This would be amazing if this is working. Wow. Alright, let's see. So I'm gonna take the knight on d4 first. This cannot be a bad move. Now I will be taking on d4, so this is also... Oh, I thought queen f2 is the idea, because I think this was the only way to play for white. Queen on f2, because in case I take, there is this bishop b2 attacking the rook on h8. Because now, after king on h1, I think I can just take the rook and that's it, no? It's the end of the game. So I have been afraid of a move that my opponent didn't want even to make. It was queen on f2. Now we are rook up. And all we need to do is to be safe and we're gonna win the game. There is still a little bit tactics left here. So we should just avoid the tactics and the game is gonna be over. Now, in case I move the knight away, there is this queen f7. Obviously, we will not let this happen. So how can I do something against it? It would be great to change the queens as well. There is no threat here because we just take with the bishop and this is not dangerous. How to win a winning position? Sometimes not so easy. I think we should move the queen somewhere because obviously this is not the best position for the queen. Where should we move the queen? I think let's go with the move queen f6, so back to basics. We have idea queen h4 somewhere. Now we just take with the bishop. Next move is gonna be rook c8. It looks like a winning position because I don't see a plan for white to be back here. What white should do, that it is more or less a fighting position, and I don't know, because we're full exchange up. We have as well 2 more pawns. Queen on e2. Maybe the queen is getting to b5, but I think I have now a nice response to this move, queen on e2. My response is going to be queen to e5. We are attacking the queen and simultaneously we would like to take on h2. In case we get an endgame, well, endgame, exchange up 2 pawns more. This is an easy win. Or it should be an easy win, except for some big blunders. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a full point, but we should not blunder something. d6. Our opponent is activating the bishop from b7. Maybe not a bad idea, but it's too late. It's just too late. I should, of course, avoid some mouse slip or similar things, but the rest is okay. King on e7, very, very safe here. Next, f6, everything is protected. There is no compensation whatsoever here for white. We should get the rook from h8 into the game. Bishop e3, idea. Bishop a7, nice fight by our opponent. He's giving his best. I think we will be just playing the move a6. No rush here. No rush. We have all the time in the world. So chess is a game of patience. Bishop on d5. What is the threat? I don't know. So let's play the move f6. Slowly, slowly. We will be winning. First, let's defend everything. Let's change pair of rooks. And that's it. Maybe I should have played the rook h3, by the way, but I don't think it matters so much at the moment. We are having a winning position. All I need to do is to be careful here. That's it. Our opponent still with 5 minutes on the clock, so a lot of time. He should have used his time better, in my opinion. No, the rook on h3. Very active. Next, we will try to bring our rook into the game, and that should be it. Bishop on a7. Alright, let's get rook on, I think, here. We have rook h2 coming next. Rook on f2. Let's collect the pawn on a3. Not so many pawns left. But our opponent is losing the material. It should be very soon the game over. So, rook on f1. let's win the game in an easy way. So let's offer a change. Our opponent, I guess, doesn't like to change the bishop, but we will force him by playing bishop h3. Once we have something more, the easiest way to win is always to change. So we just change. We give a check. The pawn is going to fall next. So let's just collect one more pawn. Here. What now? We are playing against a fighter. He is not resigning. He likes to fight in positions where it seems like we're gonna give just a checkmate, because very, very difficult to defend on both sides simultaneously. I think that's it. That's it. Actually, I don't know why the people are playing positions like that. Personally, I always feel so bad when I'm completely lost, hopelessly lost. I always resign. If there is no chance, there is no chance. But it seems like to be very, very popular to play like till the very end. This is something new, because when I was younger, we never did this kind of things. We just resigned, and yeah, what to do. Sometimes it's normal to lose a game. So our opponent doesn't like this kind of strategy. He believes to resign is not a way, but we will force him to resign. Now we have a checkmate in one move. So let's push the F button. Boom. Because we have a checkmate. Now we push the F. You can write down the checkmate in one way too easy for most of you, but still, it's a nice checkmate. That's it, that's it. Checkmate is on the way, so we give a checkmate. Boom. Rook a1. That's it. We are winning the current game. Not a bad game, all in all. Let's go with the next one. d4. Knight on f6. Knight f3. This time we go with the move g6, because previously we played the e6 move. So let's go with the King's Indian. d6. All is pretty normal. Knight on d7. This is one of the lines of the King's Indian. Rook e8. All is still theory. Our opponent seems to know exactly what he's doing, because he is so quick. Knight on c5. This is normal, and bishop d7. So this is all theory. The idea for black is to be tricky. So white has the centrum, of course. White central, so in theory, white is doing better here. But it is just such a tricky position, because King's Indian is always so tricky. There are many sacrifices that could be played. There are many tricks that could be done. And for white, what should be the next move? So, of course, it is theoretical position. Rook on b1 is normal. Now we go with the move a5. This is still theory. Rook b1 is actually one of the best moves. So our opponent is either well informed, but he thought a little bit, and in the beginning he played very quickly. So it means he found over the board the best move, rook on b1. Not bad. We have to give credit to our opponent to find the best move, rook on b1 over the board. Not an easy thing. Let's see how the game is going to develop next. a5 obviously is played to defend against the b4 play. So very logical move, a5. For you who are playing the King's Indian, you know the move a5, I guess, very well. Now we have this bishop on b2 coming eventually. So let's go the move h6. This is quite typical to play h6. And to see what happens next, because sometimes white wants to put the bishop here, sometimes white wants to put the bishop here, king h2 and h5 now. So this is still theory. I played this couple of games even in this position, I believe, already some time ago. I don't remember precisely, but I think so. It looks very strange to play the move h6 and h5, but the idea is that there is no more bishop g5, because knight on g4 check. So yeah, this is the idea. h6, waiting, h5 in case of king h2. Now the idea is to play somewhere the move h4. We will be breaking the pawn structure of white, because in case of g4 the king will be like a little bit shaky. We have this idea of sometimes bishop on c6, so we provoke take to activate the bishop. We have sometimes ideas like knight e6, changing the knight on d4. Again, it's a tricky position. It can't be better for white, but it's a very, very interesting play. f3. He is defending everything, but now h4 is coming, and we are winning a little bit of control over the dark square. So I guess g4, now knight h7. Very typical. The knight gets over f8 to e6. This is what we're gonna do next. He puts the bishop to e3. Good play, good play. Nothing to say about it. But we will be transporting our knight to e6. Very, very normal play by both. And this position is remaining, I think, extremely interesting because so many options for both sides. And the game is just so fun. Knight on e6. We would like to take the knight on d4, and let's see what white is going to play next. Because usually now we will try to control the dark squares. It means that, as you can see, knight takes e6 immediately. Good move. We will be taking with a knight back. I would like to give this check in case I can. He lets me check. This is not good. He should never allow me to give the check on e5, because now I have full control over the dark squares. So usually white should never allow something like this to happen. Now, what could be the next stage? g5 is usually the move to play in these positions. I just need to be careful with some push. I don't think it works. Knight on d5 eventually is not a bad move for white, but still I think I'm doing fine. So let's go with the move g5, because now bishop on g2 is a little stronger than a pawn, but not much stronger. So we play the move g5. We try to get control over the dark squares. Knight on e2. I think knight belongs to d5. So a little bit passive play by our opponent. Maybe he feels a little bit afraid of something. So he plays this kind of a little bit passive moves. Queen on f6. Very, very nice. Bishop on g2. Completely out of the game. So once again, we are trying to play a strategy game. As you can see, our strategy is to play against the bishop on g2. Now we have the move queen on d2. Is it possible that he is getting ready to play the move f4? Maybe. How can we stop him from playing f4? Because f4 is not a threat yet. So we have a little bit of time. Maybe to get the bishop to c6, because I would like to play the move knight f4 in case I can. So I think bishop on c6 will be well positioned. In case of, let me calculate, yeah, I think we're good. We're good to go. Bishop c6, no tricks. And next I have this knight f4 in case I need it, because I believe rook f1. No rook f1, knight on d4. Very surprising, because now we simply take here. Of course, we have many different ways to play these positions, but I would like to show you how bad this endgame is. This is a terrible endgame for white, because we are controlling all the dark squares. Literally, all the dark squares are under control, and next what we should do is to prepare the move a4 and to play it in a good moment, and that's it. So, first, let's get the king to e5. This cannot be a bad play. This is stage number one. Let's get the king to e5. So we're gonna have this kind of very long-term advantage here. Bishop, which is horrible, against the bishop on c6, which is a nice bishop. Let's go, let's go. f4 immediately. What is this? I think I can just take, no? What is happening in case I take on f4? Because it's not a must. Of course, I can keep all the dark squares, but why not to take? Rook goes there. I have king f6. He cannot take because king e5. No idea. Let's take. Let's take, because I don't see what our opponent likes to do after the move king f6. Very funny, actually, that we might be making a fork with our king. Have you made ever a fork with the king? Let me know in the chat. It ever happened to you that you made a fork using your king? Did it ever happen, like ever? I'm very curious about it. Have you used your king ever to make a fork? Because we have literally here a fork. Very funny situation. Not happening too often, I would say. So, is there a way to survive this position for white? It's gonna be very, very difficult to survive here. I don't know. I don't know. I would love to give him an advice, but the position is really looking so unpleasant. So we get the king on e5. In case we would like, we can get the king to g5. So we can choose to put the king on e5 or g5, depending what we would like to do. King on e5, of course, beautiful. But there's some kind of check somewhere, maybe. So more easy maybe first to put the king on g5, then we get rook e5. We will be just doubling here on the e file. I don't think it's a bad idea. So let's double up. Next, how to win the pawn on e4. And I think we have a very nice way of executing now the idea. First of all, we have the move f5, by the way, because rook takes, and white cannot take because rook takes e2. So f5 almost finishes the game on the spot. But even if we would have no f5, we have, let's say, rook on c5, followed by the move b5, for example. So we break through slowly, slowly. There's no way to hold a position like that. Bad bishop, pawn up. This is unholdable. So we have to choose. We have to choose how to win the current position. What is the easiest way to win the current position? I think we have also easy way. Look, I will be doing something else just for fun. So b6, a4, full domination on the dark squares. All right, let's go back. We will be getting ready for the move c5 and just winning the pawn on e4. And I might be coming back first to be sure. So I can choose. Maybe also very funny to win the game very slowly, to get the king here over c5 to b4, from g5 to get the king to b4. This would be funny, but of course I don't really need it, so this would be too much, I think. More simple, let's get the king to e7, let's play the move c5, let's collect the pawn on e4, and that's it. This is idea number one. We can also play something like c6 with the idea on d5, should be enough to win as well. The victory should normally not run away from us. Safety first, step by step, we should be able to win the game. Let's act according to the plan. So we get the king to e7, we play the move c5. So we're executing our plan now. c5 and taking e4 looks like an easy win. So let's go with the move c5. Attacking the rook, winning the pawn on e4 next. And it looks like it is almost a game over. GM, please set up horizontal view. We have a suggestion here in the chat. By the way, let me know your opinion. What do you think? Horizontal or vertical? So I'm streaming vertical because it's nice for the mobile phones, and most of the people are streaming horizontal because they make the money. So YouTube, for example, is paying for horizontal, but it's not paying for vertical. So my stream, I'm getting zero money from YouTube. But I think it's more nice. So I don't know. Let me know your opinion. What do you think? Because many people are from mobile phones, and for them, I think it would be not the best. On my iPad, hardly see you, and chessboard, and it hides under the chat. I think there is a function you can turn off the chat. I think it's gonna be more visible. So the last stage of the game, of course, is to win this winning position, and should be not very difficult. Next, we will get the king to e5 first. So beautiful position for the king, and next we're gonna aim for the move b5 in the right moment, or we can just walk with our king. So both is easily winning. I don't know what I should choose. Both is easy, so what should we play here? The move b5 idea, or the idea of moving the king on d4? Let's think a little bit what is easier here to win the game. So b5 or no b5? I think we should move the king because it feels it should be so easy to win the game once we get the king on b4. There is no way to stop black from having a winning position. The rook gets back to e5. And we have this f5 idea as well. He tries to prevent my king from moving. This is smart. Good play by my opponent, but I think I can just move forward. And that's it. Let's calculate king on d3, king on d2. Is there something white is capable of doing? Doesn't seem like that, so let's move on. To give a checkmate to the king is gonna be impossible, so the king is getting active. Those of you who are working on chess, I guess you know that king can be a very powerful piece in an endgame, and we have an endgame, so we are just moving with our king to d2. He gave us a check. Alright, let's put the king on d2. And next we should be aiming for the move b5. I see no threats whatsoever by white, so we have all the time in the world. Let's go back. And very smoothly we're going for the idea b5. And the game should be over. Maybe white can take here as a pawn, but it's not gonna save the game. And literally we caught the rook on c4. By the way, very funny. We caught the rook. I didn't think of that first, but we managed to catch the rook on c4 with our king on d2. Would you believe that? Quite funny. This is quite funny. Next we're gonna play, of course, rook on e5, because we will not give any chance to the rook on c4 to escape. And we have a winning position. Next idea, we have a nice winning idea. Think for yourself, by the way. So we have a very nice idea here with black that we would like to do next. Next move is decisive. We are winning immediately by the next move, so we have to push the f. Boom. We push the f. Try to think for yourself. We have a very beautiful move. After this move, it is immediately game over. Black to play, black wins the game. In case you like my comments, you like what we do here on VChess, like and subscribe, and of course consider becoming a member. Soon great things are coming for our members. So, Bean is writing, I'm watching the stream on phone and laptop and vertical view. Been fine for both. We'll jump to watch Mr. GM and the chess without communicating. Alright. Next move, what is the winning move? We have many suggestions, I guess, already. For those of you who could find the winning move, very, very good. It is the move rook on g6. Excellent. This is a checkmate. Our opponent resigns straight away, so another game that we're able to win by having a good strategy and playing step by step. So please consider like and subscribe to our channel VChess, become a member, and of course, in case you have some great idea, consider writing us an official email with your advices. Hi DBM, in case you have some great thoughts, just please send us an email. Always it has to be official, because there can be so easily misunderstandings in the chat, because I cannot read everything you write, no time. So misunderstandings are possible. Please send always official email. We are responding very, very quickly. So, I hope it was a fun evening of streaming. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned as well a couple of cool things for your own practical games. That's it from me. I'm a little bit tired, to be honest. Today also, it is Sunday and I'm here with you guys. I play chess with emojis. Yes, the panda of the VChess. Usually I'm streaming approximately 8:30 p.m. Dubai time and noon Dubai time. These are the two streams I do per day. So it was fun. We have crossed the 2,800 for the first time here live on stream. I will be back tomorrow. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for the support. We are growing like the community, and this is great to see. More and more people are here with us. Chat is getting better, so excellent. Step by step, we will get there to build something very nice and something that will remain, hopefully, for many, many years. Thank you. Wishing you a great evening. For me, it's already night. Time to rest. It is Sunday. All the best and bye.